Hello everyone, welcome to this session on Introduction to Statistics, and this is our 19th session. Till so far we discussed the measures of central tendency for ungrouped data, right. So here in this session we will be focusing on the grouped data. So we know already, right, so there are three measures of central tendency: mean, median and a mode, right. So these are all the three mainly measures of central tendency, right. So we found mean, median, mode for the ungrouped data. So here in this session number 19 we will be focusing on the mean to find for the grouped data. Clear? So there are three methods: direct method, assumed mean, and step deviation method. So these are the three methods are there for the mean for the group data. So here in the direct method, so the formula we are going to use is sigma fi xi upon sigma fi. So if you remember in the previous sessions, I said we use this like a letter sigma, right, to denote the summation, the sum, right. So here in the numerator, the product of fi and xi, then you take the sum. So that is in the numerator, and in the denominator we have sigma fi. So in the previous session only I said f is the letter we use to denote the frequency, right. So frequency is nothing but a number of times that particular observation xi is repeating. So therefore if you take the sum of all these numbers, that ultimately is equal to sum of all the data points, right. So that is n. So therefore this is sigma fi is nothing but this total number of observations. Clear? So therefore the formula remains the same. What is the formula? Sum of all observations divided by the total number of observations, right. Total number. So the only thing is that we represent it in the notation mathematical way: sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. Clear? So so now here we are going to find the mean for a group data. Okay, so this is our data. So we want to find the mean for this data. So if you observe this data, so it is in the form of class intervals. That means it is a group data, right. So whenever you have a group data, we specifically talk about only the class interval, that too continuous class interval. If the data points are not in the continuous class interval, how we can identify whether given class intervals are continuous or not? Just look for the upper limit of the first and then the lower limit of the next. So if these two numbers are same, then we can say that the given class intervals are continuous class interval. Okay, so now here let us, whenever if you want to find the mean by using the group data, what we do, we try to put the data in the first tabular form. So when you are writing in the tabular form, first we start with the given data only. So what is that first one? The first column is class interval, then the next number of students. So as I said, these number of students generally we denote it with fi. Okay, and then we take the third column as a class mark. Class mark, so generally it is denoted with xi. Then in the fourth column we just take the product of fi and xi. Okay, so now here uh, so this is the, we need to complete this table. Okay, so before that let us write the given data. So the class intervals 10 to 25, 25 to 40, 40 to 55, and then 55 to 70, 70 to 85, then 85 to 100. Okay, so now let us close the table so that we can avoid the confusion, right? So like while writing the data points or any other, so we don't need to get confused that which class interval belongs to which data point kind. So therefore it is good to complete the table. So this is for the number of students and this is for class mark. Okay, so let us close this also, rows, and this is a 25 to 40, then 40 to 55, then 55 to 70, then 70 to 85. Okay, so now here let us write the given data. So this is 2, 3, 7, 6, 6, 6. Okay, so now here, now we required two columns. This is the class mark and the frequency, fi into xa. Now in the previous sessions I defined, suppose let's take a class intervals a to b. So a is the lower limit and b is the upper limit, right? So how we will find the class mark? If you remember, class mark is nothing but you just to take the sum of lower limit or upper limit, or upper limit or lower limit both are same, then divide with the 2, right? You just to take the sum of upper limit and lower limit, then divide with the 2. So for the first class interval, the first 10 to 15, what is the lower limit? 10, and the upper limit is 25, then divide with 2. So how much it is? 40, sorry, 35. 35 by 2 is how much? 17.5 is the class mark for this class interval. Clear? So now similarly 25 plus 40, that is 65. 65. So let me write down for your convenient so that you will be able to understand it clearly. So this is 65 by 2, that is 32.5. Now let me show you here one trick. So for the next class intervals, instead of finding by taking the sum and then dividing with the 2, so what we can do here, you find the class mark for the first two class intervals. So here we found already 17.5 and 32.5. Then you just to take the difference between them. So how much the difference is? 15. Now what do? You start adding this 15 to the previous class interval, that is here, to get the next class interval. So therefore 32.5 plus 15 is how much? 47.5, and 47.5 plus 15 is how much? 62.5, and then 77.5, then we have 92.5. So now it would be easy for us to calculate rather than finding the sum and then dividing with the 2. You just to find the class mark for the first class intervals, then you just to take the difference between them, then you add that difference to the previous to get the next class interval. Clear? So now the fourth column is take the product of fi and xa. So fi is 2 and xi is 17.5. So 2 is multiplied with 17.5, that will give you 35. Similarly 3 is multiplied with 32.5, that is 97.5. And similarly if you find the products of this number with this number with this number, this number with this number, this is multiplied with this number. Clear? So if you find the products, so 7 into 47.5, that is 332.5, then we have 375. Okay, so then we have 4, 165, then we have 555. Clear? So after finding, now we are done with the table. Clear? So now here next thing is we want to, so now we are done with the table, so let us now find the mean. Okay, so this is the formula. So therefore mean is equal to, that is denoted with x bar. So that is, what is the formula? Sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi. Now, as I said already, this sigma fi is what? The summation of all the frequencies that is coming from here. This is the column, right? Frequency column. Then you just take the sum of all these numbers. So what is the sum of all these numbers? If you take the sum of all these numbers, you would be getting 30, right? And similarly, we need one more number. That is the summation of this fi xi column. You go and you take the summation of all these numbers, you take the sum of all these numbers, because this is our fi xi column, right? So therefore here, if you take the sum of all these numbers, so this is sigma fi xi is equal to 1860. Now you simply substitute these values here. So in the numerator, so the value is 1860 divided by the total number of observation 30. So 0 and 0 will get cancelled. So 3 ones are 3 6 are 3 twos are, right? So therefore 62. So therefore we can say that the mean for the given data is 62. So this is the way we find the mean for given group of data, given class intervals. Clear? So yeah, so this is about me. And yeah, I have 6.5 years of experience as a maths educator, ITJ mains and advanced. Then currently I'm pursuing my MBA at MDA Gurgaon, major in finance, minor in information management. My goal is to transition into finance, quant finance, data analytics, consulting domain. And this is my LinkedIn id, so profile, so you can connect me on LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah, so thank you so much.